Morning. This is pre-recorded. Um, Going to talk a little bit about my series on ceremony and ritual, and also would like to comment on the idea of mindsets that we have. We are aware now that many of us have what would be called fixed mindsets. And we may have fixed mindsets in certain areas of our lives, not all areas of our lives, because the opposite is growth mindset. And growth mindset is being able to entertain a new idea and know that you can work with the information that you've got, do the critical thinking skills that you need to do. And if you align with the new information, then you may change your mindset to the other way of thinking about things. Fixed mindset also is when we spend time thinking, I know I could never do that. And so what I have done in my own life is embrace the idea that I was going to learn to row, T-A-R-O-T, not to row, and believing that I could only really read oracle cards. But for me, it's more of a journey. It's nothing quick and easy. And so my mindset had to change, and I had to say to myself, I know how to intuitively read these cards. I've seen them long enough. I've been looking at them since 1988. And I know that I can do something with them if I put my mind to it. And since everybody has different ways of doing these rituals, whatever works for me is going to work for me, and whatever, and it's all also only based on current moment thinking or current moment divination. So, I had fixed mindset when I was younger. I think we all do. We don't go through a lot of critical thinking. Our fixed mindset says, I can't do it. I've tried and I just can't do it. And we keep repeating that negative thing over and over again. With growth mindset, we say, why don't we just look at this from a different perspective? Why don't we try it again? Why don't we be more patient? Why don't we get somebody to help us? And all of us can achieve that. I know I could. When I was in undergraduate school, I was a C student. That was one of my fixed mindsets, that I could never achieve any more than that I would always be just a C student. And until I changed my mindset to a growth mindset and realized that with experience, with knowledge that I had, with other classes that I've took, other books that I've read, other things that I've done, that I might be able to actually get a higher degree in something else. And I had to change my mindset and my belief system to know that I could do that. I put the self-limiting behavior or mind aside, and I just pushed through it. It doesn't help when we are younger, when a teacher tells us that we have mental blocks in certain things. And, with all respect to my teacher, Mr. Brown, in the 4th grade, who told my parents I could never learn math. He was a young man. He wasn't experienced, and he couldn't deal with it. I mean, he obviously just didn't know what else to do with me. So that's why he told me that. And then my parents told me that, and then that was me for the rest of my time in school. I had to take Math 101 4 or 5 times in college, and I dropped every time. And so finally I took it as a standalone class at a community college with one of the teachers who actually was from my high school. And I got a C in there. Now, for me, a C was like an A because I was, pushing through that growth, that fixed mindset the whole time. But at the same time, now that would be accepting mediocrity, which I am willing to do in certain cases, but not in all cases. I really want to know. I really have that burning desire to know and to share. I think it's very, very important. And I think it's important to know that we all have these problems in different areas at different times, and we can open ourselves up to more of a growth mindset if that's what we wish to do. I believe the lady's name is Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K, who wrote a book on growth mindset. So if you're a book reader, you might want to check into that because it's very illuminating. And if not, you can always go to Google, put in growth mindset, see what kind of things you can do to make your thoughts become more positive, and you focus on them and have them grow. So just a little tidbit of knowledge. As far as ritual and ceremony, which is the original idea here, I think that fixed and growth mindset do fit into this. That's why I brought that in. The first thing is that if you believe that you're only going to have a good ritual or a good ceremony if all the components line up correctly, by whomever's standards, and that it's not going to work out well if we change one little thing, then you can hopefully flip that into more of a growth mindset and say, you know what? I am my own person with my own needs, wants, and desires, and I'm going to do my ceremony, do my ritual the way that I want to do it. And I can change it if I want, and I can keep it the same if I want. Whatever it is, I can do it. So, I can give you some tips, and I have before in the past, as to how to get yourself started, to put yourself in a sacred space. You can put on YouTube, as you probably do every day. You can pick some Native American flute music, or you could pick some meditation music, or you could pick some other instrumental type of music, or chants. That's another thing. Gregorian chants are also really nice if you go toward that way. You put that on, you get your little altar or your little table set up, which can simply be something that's just a piece of table, and you put a little decoration on it. And you know what? The decoration on it could be a kitchen towel, a couple of stones you happen to have, some candles, and they don't have to be special candles. You can get them at the dollar store. And, if you are so inclined, you can also do a little bit of smudging. If you're allergic to the smoke, or, there's spray smudge now that you can do. You can spray the smudge around you to clear you. You can clear your space that way, or with the feather and the smoke. A lot of people can't deal with that. It's a lot of smoke, and it set off my fire alarms sometimes. So, get the spray one. If you don't have the money to do none of that, then bring in some fresh flowers from outside. You must be wildflowers somewhere near you. Or bring home, a carnation and put that on there. You don't have to, though, okay? I would suggest writing down your intentions, what you might like to release, what you might be trying to accomplish, depending on what your ritual is for. There are some people that I know that have very difficult past relationships with others, and they want to sort of break away from that. There is a ritual that you can do called cutting the cords, where you invisibly cut strings, because all of us are attached by invisible strings in all our relationships, okay? The closer they are, the tighter. It's probably more like a rope instead of a string. But we are attached. We can detach by cutting those strings, but don't be surprised if you don't hear from those people. They can feel it. They don't know why they feel it. Something wrong, and they, unless they're gone. If they're gone, you may get a visit. You may get to have a dream come. You may feel very uplifted, and like somebody took a huge backpack of rocks off of you. One of the things my husband and I did was, he was dealing with a lot of issues, and it was when I first met him, and it was from his prior marriage, as well as his emotions, and he had gained a lot of weight because we put baggage on. We eat, or we have other addictions. I told him to write a letter to his ex. I told him to sincerely thank her, sincerely apologize to her for his part in whatever happened, and to say, I'm going to let you go, realizing that you're the mother of my children, and I certainly know that we will be attached, but not in the same way. And after he did that, he went out to the back of the house, and very carefully, in the fire pit that they had, he burned it, releasing the ashes into the air. You can do it in a sink, I suppose. You could do it where you need to, but, be careful. Don't light things on fire that you're not watching. We did the same thing with credit cards at one point when we were really destitute, and we had all these credit cards, but we couldn't pay them. It was really difficult for us. So we burned the credit cards, and we felt like we made a cut with all of that past energy surrounding those credit cards. Of course, we still had to do other things, but it was a beginning for that. So again, what I'm speaking to here is lots and lots of different ideas, not all the same for everyone. And ceremony is beautiful if you can do it with a group, even if it's 2 or 3 people. You can do it outside. Mother Nature loves to celebrate itself. You can honor the directions. You can honor the seasons. You can honor color. You can honor gods, ancestors. You can honor animals. All those things are possible depending on what it is you wish to accomplish. So I certainly can't cover every single kind of ceremony that there is. I welcome you to ask me if you think, intuitively that maybe I might know a ceremony for, let's say, a past situation you'd like to get rid of, or perhaps a ceremony for a pet's death, a ceremony for the loss of a loved one or a friend, the loss of a relationship. All of those things need healing. And also, if you've been sick for a very long time, or you are sick and you wish to release those toxins, at least in a spiritual way, in order to get rid of those so that you can move forward and heal. Just remember that ritual and ceremony are very personal things. They are things that you feel drawn to, things that you feel comfortable with. You should never feel uncomfortable in doing any ritual or ceremony, because it's from your gut that you're doing it. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you need to move from it. It might be fear that you're feeling. We do have a lot of fear in us. We are bombarded with fear from politicians, news people, whoever. We have a lot of fear that surrounds us. We need to clean that. That's another thing about ceremony and ritual. Cleaning, cleansing. At the very least, what you could do if you have none of these things available to you, because I do believe you can still do something, and you do have a shower, then you go in and you take a really nice shower and release yourself, release all of the toxins that you feel that are holding you down. Or if, let's say, you were out in the mall. When I come home from the mall, oh my God, I got to take a shower. I can't stand it. It's like all these negative things stick to me. And, maybe it's just my thoughts and the feelings that I get with crowds because I don't care for them. But that is one way of releasing that, or laying on the bed, turning on the YouTube and meditating. Meditating is listening, and prayer is talking. Take the time to listen. And, you may be interrupted by lots and lots of things. I think the best thing about when I meditate, it's usually I have the music. And, it may bring thoughts in and out, but at least it brings me to a place where, okay, this is my meditation time. And I'm not going to think about that. I got to get the dishes done, and I got to run to the store, and my dogs have to be fed, and I have to grade paper, all of those busy things that bother me when I'm not listening to cleansing music. Anyway, again, I hope this helps. If anyone has a specific ceremony or ritual that they either don't understand or would like to know a little bit more about, let me know. Otherwise, I would say this concludes this particular group of talks that I have. I would like to come back and talk a little bit more about vibrations, and I'd like to talk about when you are with people in a lower vibration, that you are constantly being sucked down to their level. And if you go with it, then you're down there again. And you're going to have to march forward and go back up again. So, try and keep yourself grounded, clear your chakras, feel better, and do the rituals that you like. This is another ritual that I can't get enough of, which is my incense. Again, some people can't do that because the smoke bothers them. Or perhaps it's taking a stone and just holding it and just listening to what the stone has to say or your higher self has to say. Surrounding yourself with angels, stone angels or other things. I hope this helps everybody. I can't tell you how much I love you all, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Take care. Bye-bye.